Hey, what's going on, everybody? Real quick, before we dive into this, I just want to let you know at 30,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a Nintendo Switch Lite. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is click the subscribe button, click that thumbs up button, and leave a comment down below letting me know who your favorite draft pick is in today's video. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is KyleAye and I am your coach of the Miami Donphans, and we are the only team that matters. And today, the ABL Season 3, the Amateur Battle League, but trust me when I tell you, I'm no amateur. I'm no amateur, baby. I have done many draft leagues in my day. However, this is the first time doing a doubles VGC format draft league. So I'm very excited about that. Hopefully you are too. And if you are, please do hit that subscribe button down below and click that thumbs up button. Basically, what's going on here is there are 18 teams in this league, and each of us get 11 picks. Now, remember, there's only 400 Pokemon in the game as of right now, so gonna be some pretty cool stuff picked, and I'm pretty excited about it. So basically, I'm gonna talk about each thing that I picked here, and what we're doing is we're gonna have a schedule where we're gonna battle the other, some of the other YouTubers and coaches in the league here, and basically I'm going to look at my team of 11 and I'm going to look at their team of 11, and I'm going to figure out which 6 Pokemon I want to bring to that battle versus them. You know what I mean? So even though we both have 11 Pokemon, we only bring 6. I just hit the mic, sorry. We bring 6 each, and then we actually, are gonna duke it out. So let's go ahead and dive right on into the action. But before we do, take a look below the webcam right here. This is the trophy, the Season 3 trophy. And you better believe when it's all said and done, we're going to be holding that bad boy up. The confetti's going to be falling. It's going to be time. We've never lost, and I don't plan on starting now. So, without further ado, let's take a look at our first pick. We actually had the 10th pick overall in the draft, which is pretty bad, but we were able to actually land Gyarados. Now, it's kind of funny because I've played a lot of singles, like I said, right? So this is my first time really dipping into doubles or VGC, like, you know what I mean, for real. And I really didn't know that this thing was as good as it is until my good buddy Wolf Glick, the 2016 Pokemon VGC World Champion, was like, yes, that is a good Pokemon. That's a good mon. You need to get that. I was like, okay, boom. He was helping me out with drafting, so absolutely shout out to him, as well as boy Hot Honcho and my boy Sam for helping me out. Now, Gyarados, what's awesome about this is it does get Intimidate as an ability. So, whatever's on the other side is going to get -1 attack immediately. So that's pretty awesome. It also gets the ability Moxie, which means every time it picks up a kill, it actually gets +1 attack. So that's pretty awesome too. 81 base speed is not the worst, but or not the best, but it's not the worst. 125 attack is going to be pretty solid. It is 4 times weak to electric. So that's one thing that I'm going to have to, consider whenever we're having these battles here. However, everything in the game with a 4 times weakness or a quad weakness got a slight buff, in my opinion, because they removed the move Hidden Power. The Hidden Power is not in the game. So with that being said, I don't have to worry about something random on the other team running Hidden Power Electric like you would have to in like Sun and Moon or something like that, right? With that being said, Gyarados gets some pretty cool moves this gen with the addition of Power Whip, so now it gets grass type coverage. I'm pretty excited about that, as well as just an incredibly diverse move pool to begin with. One thing that I did decide to do was actually make Gyarados my Dynamax captain. Now, you cannot see that on here, but it is my Dynamax captain, so I'm able to click something like Bounce when I'm Dynamaxed, which will be like the Airstream, and I'll get +1 speed. If I combine that with Moxie, I could essentially just start destroying things. And I'm very, very happy that I was able to get this. At first, I was a little unsure, but my team kind of they convinced me it was the wave. We're gonna be using the Shiny Gyarados because I've never seen anybody with Shiny Gyarados or Shiny Magikarp. I think it's like probably the rarest Shiny that there is because I've never seen one. So until I got it, I got one now. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's red. We're gonna be using that, and that's our first pick. Pairing that up when it came back, you have to keep in mind this is a snake draft. So the team that goes first, it goes all the way down the line to the team that's last, and then the team that's last goes again. So they go 2 times. So first to last, last to first, first to last. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like a snake. So coming back, I was taking a look, right? Boom, the 27th pick, right? Coming back is our second rounder. I scooped up Whimsicott, again, a Pokemon that I knew was good. I knew Whimsicott was good. However, I did not know that it was great, until, you know, my team was talking with me, and they were like, man, you got to think about this. I was like, okay, it's a grass fairy, so I already have a water type and a flying type, I guess. Water flying, and now I have a grass and a fairy type. So that's something really good. Whimsicott gets some great abilities. It gets Prankster, which is going to be the #1 kind of go-to thing that we're going to be doing here, which basically what Prankster does is any move that you click that is not an attacking move gets priority to something like Leech Seed or Tailwind or Taunt or really just about any of those moves. Light Screen, you know what I mean? Substitute. So this is going to be a phenomenal support mon. I'm really glad that I was able to pair it up with something like Gyarados. If I do go about, you know, clicking Tailwind and getting priority, I have priority Trick Room. It also gets a move called U-Turn, which is a physical attacking bug type move where you hit your opponent and then you get to switch out. So that's pretty cool too. I can get some momentum. I know a lot of you know what a lot of the moves do, but we do have a lot of new subscribers here. So I want to make sure that I'm kind of going over this in a way where the most people will be able to understand. So I'm very excited to have this thing just because I was learning a lot about it and a lot of what I can do with it. And it's going to be great synergy. I mean, these two that I have right now, the top 5 teams every week in these VGC tournaments so far since the game has been out have had these 2 Pokemon. Not every single team has had both, but both of these 2 have been appearing a lot. And you know what else has been appearing a lot? My 3rd overall pick, Duraludon. I'm gonna be real. I picked Duraludon because I think it looks cool as shit. I think it looks awesome, dude. It's awesome. It's a Steel-type dragon. A Steel-type dragon. Steel dragon, okay? And I got it in the 3rd round, and our trophy, the league trophy, is actually inspired off of Duraludon. So I think that's pretty dope. And one thing that's cool about Duraludon is that not only does it have a very good special attack stat at 120, it also has 95 attack, a physical attack. So if I really needed to, I could run a physical move. It also gets 115 defense and 85 speed, so pretty decent. Whimsicott also has pretty good stats. It has Whimsicott has 116 speed. I forgot to mention that, but it's mostly here for support. Anyways, Duraludon, it gets its signature ability. It's called Stalwart, and basically what it does is it ignores the effects of opposing Pokemon abilities and moves that draw in attacks, right? So let's say, remember it's doubles, right? So let's say I click a move like, I don't know, Thunderbolt, okay? say I click Thunderbolt, right? And the opponent has something like Manectric out on one side. Even though I'm attacking the other Pokemon, Manectric has Lightning Rod, which would draw the electric move towards Manectric. Basically, this ability ignores that. So you can do some cool stuff, and you don't gotta worry about other things distracting you with it. Also, it gets just pretty solid moves in general. Not the best, but it gets pretty good coverage. Honestly, I just wanted one of the new Pokemon. I think it looks sick, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get it. It also gives my team a Stealth Rock user. Hazards are not that important or superly like overused in doubles like how they are in singles. However, we are doing 6v6. Even though it's doubles, we're doing 6v6. Standard VGC is 4v4. So, you know, you have 2, and then you have 2 out and 2 in the back. We're having 2 out with 4 in the back. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I got some hazards on my team. So that way we're gonna have plenty of chip damage. With the 4th overall pick, I scooped up Eiscue. Now this may be a reach. However, I love this thing. I really do. And I do have a shiny one. It's pink. So you already know we're gonna be bringing that. And this thing is really good, actually. It's signature ability Ice Face is basically just like Mimikyu's Disguise, except it's for physical attacks only. So you hit it with a physical attack, it does nothing. All it does is break the ice cube, and then he's just a little penguin guy underneath it. However, if it is hailing, if there is hail up and your Ice Face gets broken, you just get a new one. It just keeps coming back. So that's definitely something I want to think about. It also gets Aurora Veil if the hail is up, and Aurora Veil is basically Light Screen and Reflect together in one move. But the catch is you can only use it when it's hailing. So you basically get double defense and double special defense if you can do that. This thing also gets access to Belly Drum. So you sacrifice half your HP and you get maximum attack plus 6 attack. Okay, it's incredible. Besides that, it gets pretty decent coverage anyways. It gets Head Smash, good rock type move. It gets Stab, ice moves obviously. It gets Iron Head, things like Liquidation, I believe. Yes, it gets Liquidation. So it gets some pretty solid moves. And Zen Headbutt as well. That's something to consider. It also has when you break the Ice Face, its stats change a little bit, and it actually gets 130 speed whenever you break the Ice Face. So it's as fast as Jolteon, okay? It's really solid. It's really cool. I think I reached to grab it, but I just love this Pokemon, and I really wanted to use it. So welcome to the team, Eiscue. Let's get it popping, okay? The 5th pick. Boom. I scooped up Gallade. Now, Gallade, I was like, I've never used Gallade before. Obviously, it's not Mega Gallade like what we had in Gen 7, right? But I still think it's pretty cool. 125 physical attack is going to be very good. 80 speed, so like right on the decent line. 115 speed def, so it can definitely take a special hit. Also, Eiscue already has 80 base attack, by the way. Eiscue, 80 base attack. So after you belly drum, everything's dying. Everything's dying. But, anyways, Gallade, right? Has a ability called Justified. Basically, what happens is you get an attack boost every time you get hit with a dark type move. You get +1 attack. Now, what's cool about this is that I have Whimsicott on my team. And Whimsicott gets a move called Beat Up, which is a dark type move that hits once for every Pokemon on your team. So basically, what you can do, as long as the Pokemon is alive, I mean, it counts for all of the unfainted Pokemon on your team, all the living Pokemon. But it has a god-awful physical attack stat. So basically what you can do is have your Whimsicott click Beat Up on your Gallade, and it's gonna hit him, you know, multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and every time it hits him, he's getting an attack boost. And then Gallade just hits stuff, and it's only going to take a little bit of damage. So I think that that's a pretty good strat. Actually, Wolfie had done it before with Lucario, who also gets Justified. That's pretty cool. It also gets Steadfast or Steadfast, which will give you +1 speed if you get flinched, and a lot of things like to run fake outs in VGC. With that being said, Gallade gets very, very good coverage, incredible coverage. Things like Thunder Punch, X Scissor, Stab, Psycho Cut, Zen Headbutt, Leaf Blade, Priority Shadow Sneak, Rock Slide. It's really good. It gets things like Wide Guard, I believe. It does, yes, Wide Guard. It even gets Will-O-Wisp and Trick. So plenty of coverage. If there's a move, this thing probably gets some sort of variant of it, and I love it. I love it. Poison Jab, Magical Leap. Knockoff. It gets Knockoff. Now, one thing that makes me so happy about that is that not a lot of things in this game get Knockoff. It's not like Gen 7 when it was like a move tutor move, or, you know, Gen 6 and all these things that knock off, right? Not a whole lot of things get it. Weavile and Bisharp don't even get knockoff in this game, okay? So the fact that Gallade does is tremendous, and I'm able to knock off some items, so it's going to be pretty cool. Tons of coverage. I really like this pick a lot, and I'm looking forward to building around it and getting some cool synergy. Up next, boom, Indeedee female, okay? So we did have to separate Indeedees. We had the male and the female separate. They do have separate stats, so it's understandable. Plus, you got to keep in mind, there's like 200 Pokemon that are going to get picked, and there's only 400 Pokemon in the game. So no one's going to be picking, you know, things like, you know, Grookey or Yamper. You know what I mean? They're not going to get picked because they're just little, like, baby Pokemon, right? So we had to keep that in mind. So we separated Indeedee. I took the female one because it's a bit more bulky, and I already have some hitters on my team, right? Like Eiscue's gonna be doing damage, Gallade's gonna be doing damage, Gyarados gonna be doing damage, Duraludon. So I wanted a little bit more support on my team. This thing has 85 base speed, but it gets Psychic Surge, okay, for an ability. And basically what that does is it sets the Psychic Terrain. It is the same ability that Tapu Lele had in Ultra Sun and Moon. Now, what's good about this is that it eliminates priority moves, so I don't got to worry about something clicking like Sucker Punch on me or something like that. And it powers up Psychic moves, which Gallade is a Psychic Fighting type. So Indeedee's a Psychic Normal type. Gallade's a Psychic Fighting type, so Gallade's going to get, you know, boosted Psycho Cuts or Zen Headbutt or whatever. And Indeedee, since it is part Normal type, it can't be hit by Ghost moves, which in Psychic types are weak to, right? Normal types are immune to Ghosts, so I basically have an immunity to a weakness. That is always good. I think Indeedee's going to be cool anyways because it can do things like Calm Mind. It gets a move called Ally Switch, which basically you have your 2 Pokemon out, and then you can make them switch sides if you click this move. So it can throw off your opponent if they're trying to attack. That'd be pretty cool. Things like Aromatherapy can heal my other Pokemon in the back if they do get status or something like that. It gets Fake Out. It gets Follow Me. Follow Me is a move where basically no matter who your opponent is trying to attack, you click Follow Me and the move follows to you. The move comes to you. Which Duraludon Stalwart doesn't worry about Follow Me. It just keeps going. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool that I was able to get a Follow Me abuser. And I also have Duraludon on my team. So that's pretty dope. But this thing it gets okay coverage. But mostly I just wanted it for being able to support, getting some terrain, getting all around sheer dopeness, okay? Going into the 7th pick. Now, I got this with the 99th pick, by the way. This is a good mon. People be using this in VGC. They really do. I've been looking at the tournaments lately. So, 7th pick, I scooped up Rhyperior. Another thing that I knew was good, but apparently this thing is really good in VGC. And I have no idea how I got it with the 118th pick if it's really this good. But obviously, I know it has 115 HP, 140 attack, and 130 defense. So incredible HP, attack, and defense stats, right? It gets Lightning Rod, which is the ability I was talking about earlier. So this thing draws all electric type moves used to hit Rhyperior. It draws electric attacks to hit him, and he's immune to them. That's pretty cool. It also gets something called Solid Rock, which basically means any super effective attack that hits it, it only does 75% damage. It does 3/4 damage instead of the full amount, right? So if it would normally, you know, hit you and do 100 damage, it's only gonna do 75, basically. So that's a way to think about it. And it gets Reckless as well, which it powers up attacks that do recoil damage or hurt you. So, you know, things like Takedown, for example. But Rhyperior gets pretty solid coverage, and it is 4 times weak to water and 4 times weak to grass. So those are 2 things I'm gonna have to consider. However, like I said earlier, Hidden Power is not in the game, so I don't have to worry about things running Hidden Power Water or Hidden Power Grass. I can just be like, okay, that thing gets a grass move. Oh, that thing gets a water move. So, something to think about. But, this is a good mon, apparently. And it gets incredible move coverage. I'm looking right now. Ice coverage, fire coverage, ground and rock. It gets Hydro Pump. It gets Iron Head, Mega Horn. It gets Rock Wrecker, which is a signature move. So it's basically like rock type Giga Impact. So maybe we can do something with that. I don't know, but I think it's pretty cool. I was a little unsure about it, but again, the team, I got faith. I got faith, and I believe in my core of homies that help me build and basically go over these things with me, right? I believe in them. So same way they believe in me, and I believe in y'all. 7th pick, Rhyperior. Welcome to the squad. Now with the 8th pick, check this out. I scooped up Drifblim, okay? Now, the cool thing about Drifblim is it gets an ability called Unburdened. What Unburdened does is once you use your held item, so if your held item activates, you get double speed. Double speed, okay? So it has 80 base speed already, right? You can give it an item. There's an item in the game called the Psychic Seed, or the Electric Seed, or the Misty Seed, or the Grassy Seed, right? Basically what those do is if you send out a Pokemon and that, whatever seed it is, that terrain is active on the field, it activates and it'll give you some kind of stat boost, right? So for the Psychic Seed, for example, we would send this out. If I had Drifblim holding the Psychic Seed, it would get +1 special defense. As soon as it hits the field, item activates, +1 special defense. And since its item activates, it also gets double speed. So this thing gets +1 special defense and double speed just for coming out the Pokeball. Okay? Really good. It gets a move called Strength Sap, which basically gives your opponent -1 attack, and you also heal. It is Recover that gives your opponent -1, and the amount of HP that you recover depends on their attack stat. So that's pretty cool. It also gets Will-O-Wisp, so you can actually burn your opponents, and if you get burned, you know, it cuts your attack stat. But your actual base value for your attack doesn't drop, so you can burn something and still click Strength Sap and still heal the full amount. It's very good. It can heal itself with things like Roost, and it's just, man, this thing is really good. And I'm just really excited about it. It also gets something called Flare Boost, which if it gets burned, it basically gets +1 special attack. It's a signature ability. I don't think we're really going to be tapping into that, but maybe, you never know. And then also it has an ability called Aftermath, where if it gets knocked out by a physical move, whatever kills it loses 25% of their health. So that's something that can really come into handy. But this Drifblim also gets Ally Switch, so I can, you know, flip-flop my mons back and forth. It's gonna be pretty cool. It gets a move called Defog. Defog is a move that removes hazards from the field. Rhyperior also gets Stealth Rocks, which is something I didn't mention. Eiscue gets Stealth Rocks? No, it doesn't. Okay. I don't think Gallade. There's no way. No. I don't know. Things have changed in Sword and Shield, so I had to check. Some things get new moves, some things don't get moves. Did you know Tyranitar gets Hydro Pump in this game? Tyranitar gets Hydro Pump in this game. Gyarados gets Power Whip. There's things you gotta check on. The game's still new. But, anyways, Drifblim gets Defog. So it removes any hazards that are on the field. Spikes, Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks, Sticky Webs, Light Screen, Reflect, Aurora Veil. They're gone. So I think Drifblim will be really cool. And he's the hot air balloon, dude. He's a balloon. Like, how could you? I love balloons. The balloon emoji is one of the most used emojis on my phone. Like, literally. I love balloons, man. They're dope. Going into the 9th round. The 9th pick. God damn it. I took Boltund, and here's the thing. It's not a bad pick, but this is the reason why I took it, okay? Boltund gets it. Boltund's hidden ability is called competitive. And what it does is if any of your attacks get dropped, so if your opponent uses like Intimidate, right? Or has Intimidate, and then you get -1 attack, your competitive ability activates and you get +2 special attack. So I was like, oh, this thing gets really good coverage. And it has 121 base speed, and it has 90 attack and 90 special attack. And it also has 69 HP. But, for real, 90 in both attacks. So I'm like, okay, I'll run competitive, I'll get that competitive boost, and I'll get basically a free Nasty Plot. It's all +2 special attack. I can click things like Thunderbolt. I think it gets something else too. Well, Volt Switch, obviously. Volt Switch is another momentum move that I can switch around with, but I thought it'd be pretty cool. It gets Discharge. That's the move I was thinking. Discharge is kind of like Thunderbolt, but it hits both. It's a little bit weaker, but it hits both your opponents instead of just one. But competitive's not released yet. I didn't know that. We drafted this like a month and a half ago. And we've just waited to do everything because there were so many things we had to finalize. So I picked this, and then I found out the hard way that its ability isn't even in the game. And things like Jolteon were still on the board. Manectric, even. I think there was a Rotom, like Rotom Frost or something was still on the board. So, oh well. It's new, at least I can use it. But it gets Helping Hand, which is pretty cool. So, Helping Hand basically is a priority move that gives an attack boost to whatever attack your teammate's about to use. I'm pretty sure Indeedee gets it too. And I'm pretty sure some other things in my team might get it, but it gets pretty cool physical coverage nonetheless, and it does get the Strong Jaw ability, and it gets Thunder Fang, Fire Fang, Ice Fang. Shout out to Show for the Beatdown. It gets Crunch. Does it get Psychic Fangs? It does get Psychic Fangs. I said Play Rough. So, I mean, it's still good. It gets a move called Snarl, which is a Dark type move that lowers your opponent's special attack by 1. So that's pretty cool. So it's not the worst pick, but I definitely would have took something else if I could. It also gets a fire type move called Flame Charge, which gives you +1 speed. Maybe that's something that we'll mess with, but I don't know. I just think this thing looks like a furry, like somebody's like in the face, like it looks like somebody's like furry commission. So like I don't know, like a Fursona, but I'm probably gonna name it Fursona because I think it's funny. But anyways. Nonetheless, much love, do you? I appreciate y'all. And I don't care, but if that's your thing, do it. Much love. With the 10th pick, the Miami Donphans are scooping up Abomasnow, okay? I already had an Ice type, I already had a Grass type, but hear me out. This is VGC, so you don't need one of every single type and all this other stuff. You just need the best team synergy possible. This thing automatically sets the hail whenever it hits the field, right? Now, this is really good because, and it does that with its ability Snow Warning. It literally comes onto the field, the hail comes. Remember, I have Eiscue that gets that free disguise, right? That free Ice Head if the hail is up every time. Even if it gets broken, it comes right back. So these two are going to pair really nicely, in my opinion. It also gets Aurora Veil. So it comes out on the field, the hail comes out automatically, and then it sets Aurora Veil. Pretty dope. It's 4 times weak to fire. However, there's no hidden power fire. And also, there's very few fire types that are in the game. As you notice, I don't even have a fire type right now. So there's not a whole lot in the game. There's really not. At least not that are any good. So this thing is pretty nice though. Obviously it gets dual stab with dual stab with fire. Dual stab with ice and grass. It'll get things like Leech Seed as well for support. It can set up with Swords Dance and it gets priority with Ice Shards. That's gonna be pretty good. And it's pretty solid. Honestly, I just took it for the synergy to have with Eiscue. And I mean, look, we're 171 picks into the draft at this point. And remember, there's only 400 mons. So, and that's counting, there's 400 counting things like Sobble and, you know, Rookie D, you know what I mean? Like Pokemon that you're not going to use. And Darumaka, you know what I mean? So, out of legit things that you could battle with, we're almost at the, we're at the end of the road, okay? But I think Abomasnow would be cool. And actually, my buddy Dom, his favorite Pokemon is Snover, and I think that's a dope favorite to have. So maybe I'll think of a way to, I don't know. Shout out to Dom. I already know what I'm gonna name this thing, but that's my boy. So much love. Anyways, the final pick. Are you ready? I'm ready. The final pick for the Miami Donphans. Crawdaunt. I absolutely cannot believe that this thing was still on the board this late. I honestly didn't even notice it there. I was like, what in the hell? What? Why is Crawdaunt still there? This thing has, it's a dark type, so it's a water type as well. So it's dark water or water dark, and it does get knockoff, which will get a stab boost. This has the strongest knockoff in the game. The strongest knockoff in the game, okay? Because Crawdaunt has 120 attack, but it also gets an ability called Adaptability, which basically powers up your stab moves. So stab is whenever you use an attack that is the same type as you. It's automatically stronger. It's like if Blastoise were to use Surf and Snorlax were to use Surf, Blastoise would be stronger. The Surf would be stronger because it's coming from a water type. Now, what's cool about Crawdaunt is its ability powers that up even further. It takes it even further beyond, okay? And it actually gets double, basically, instead of times 1.5. So that is pretty damn incredible. Okay? Pretty incredible. Knockoff is going to just obliterate things, and I love it. It gets priority Aqua Jet. It gives me just a dark type in general, so like psychic types gotta think twice before they just keep clicking shit against my team. It gets moves like Close Combat, Liquidation. I think you get Liquidation. Yeah, Liquidation. Okay, yeah. Superpower, X Scissor, Taunt, Swords Dance. This thing is so good. I've used it before in a singles draft league. It gets Dragon Dance. And it's like, why is this still here? It's the 190th pick. What in the fuck? But anyways, all jokes aside, I really like this team a lot. Honestly, I wish I didn't take Boltund. I wish I would have just took like Jolteon or like Pikachu. I would have rather took, probably. Could have did some cool stuff with Pikachu. But maybe Boltund will be nice. And I'm not sure exactly if we're going to allow abilities as they come out later. So maybe they'll release competitive later. But as I'm looking at it now, this thing don't even really get that good of special type moves. It was looking a bit different when the game first came out because a lot of things were unsure. So Strong Jaw I think will be fine. But leave a comment down below and please let me know what your favorite pick on the team is. My personal favorite pick has got to be Duraludon or Eiscue. Man, I love Eiscue, but I love Duraludon too, just because it's badass and it looks like the trophy. The trophy was inspired by Duraludon, and we gonna win it. We're gonna win it, guys. I'm gonna try and do it for you. Anyways, the first battle is gonna go up next weekend, I believe on Saturday. So please do stay tuned for that. And oh man, oh man, oh man. That's all I got, Don fans. Roll out.